I'm back. I'm back. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh. Live at the spot. Nard Father's in the building. Peace and love to everybody. Let me just check something out real quick. We're gonna get to it. Let a couple more people come in. Alrighty. Tonight's show, Lil Kim, Biggie's moms, Miss Wallace. I'd like to welcome everybody in here. Thank you for coming in. We'll try to give y'all a real good story tonight. All right. Little Kim. A lot of people feel she deserves respect. And she does. Little Kim deserves every bit of respect that she's asking for. Little Kim held it down after Big lost his life. She most definitely did. And she deserved every bit of the credit that she deserves credit. But little Kim had a problem, and she should feel that way. Kim loved Big. Kim loved Big very, very much. She came from hard times. Her and her father didn't get along at all. They didn't get along at all. And that resonated as she grew older. Big saved her life mentally in so many ways. Because Big gave her a life. He put her on when she was 17. Big put her on. But then Big, while he was with her, married Faith. So that hurt her. She felt the same way her father made her feel, and that was she felt betrayed. I don't know what kind of name she had in the streets when it came down to other guys, their stories. But still, Big put her on. So Big took her away from all of that street stuff that could have really engulfed her. Welcome in. Please hit that like button. I surely appreciate it. Hit that like button, please. I surely appreciate it. Big saved Kim from the streets, because those streets could have really engulfed her in so many ways. It's a lot of wolves. When I say wolves, it's a lot of guys out there that could have used and abused her like they was trying. But like I said, Big saved her from all that. He gave her a life. She's on stage, and she handled the stage like a champ. Big up to big up to Lil Kim. I respect Lil Kim so much. She epitomizes, she represents being the top female rapper. She paved the way for female rappers that came after her. She paved the way. When Kim rapped, you listened and you understood every word she was saying, and you had a good beat to go along. Great music. She had great music to go along with what she was saying. I applaud her for that. Biggs, Big passed away. Mom's, she was hurt because that was her only child. That was Miss Wallace's only child. So yes, she was hurt. Lil Kim gave his kids 10% of her publishing for the rest of their lives and for the rest of her life, for the rest of her musical career. They got 10% of her public publishing rights. So they got money coming in courtesy of Lil Kim. You got to respect her for that. And that I do. I respect Lil Kim for that wholeheartedly. Lil Kim made one mistake. She made one mistake. And she have to realize this. And as I watch, listen, and learn, and already knew some of the things, she had an abortion for Big. She didn't want to have a kid from Big and put that child on this planet so the child could see what she was going through with him, because they put each other through a lot behind the scenes. They put each other through a lot. And that made Lil Kim wonder, even though she was free from the streets of all the bad men, violence that was waiting for her on them streets, she also lived through that with Big too. They went at it. They went at it a number of times. And there's a lot of rumors that went on behind the scenes that went on between these two. But she had an abortion. So when she did that, even though she stood by everybody's side after he died, even though she took care of the team, she had all of them staying at her house. You know what I'm saying? She supported Big's mother in so many ways that people don't even know. But she made one mistake. She had an abortion from Big. Had she not had that abortion, she would have had as much to say as anybody else. Now, you took yourself out the loop, but she took herself out the loop, but she was still in the loop. You see what I'm saying? Even though she took herself out the loop, she was still in the loop. But she made Big's mother choose. Rather, I go with Kim. And if I go with Kim, then I'm going to actually lose Faith. Faith had his son. Faith had Big's only son. So if she ride with Kim, she's going to lose her family. She already lost Big. Had she rode with Kim, she would have lost everybody. That's the way I see it. And that's the way I think it is. So she had to ride with Faith. And when it came down to a whole lot of business matters concerning Big, including making that movie about Big, she had to ride with Faith. So they went off of Faith's story, Puffy's story, and Miss Wallace's story. They went off of their story, and a couple of other ones, C's and D Rock and all of them. But Kim wasn't involved in it. And what they wanted to involve her in, they showed her what they was doing Like, here, we're gonna see you being this way in this film. She's saying, no, that's not me. The way I see it, she basically wanted to be looked at as his wife. And if she wasn't his wife, which she wasn't, she was his wifey. Now the paperwork wasn't in Kim's name, but they carried on like they was husband and wife. Like they carried on like, yo, this is my top girl, number one girl. But Big had a thing for light skinned girls, lighter skinned girls, whether they was white, light skinned. And Kim grew up with people making her feel bad because she was dark skinned. So she made herself lighter, which I don't agree with, but I don't want to go against Lil Kim. I love Lil Kim for what she represented on that team in this industry. I really respect Kim for the mark she left in this rap game and for the mark that she has left so far in this rap game. But the one mistake she made was she had the abortion. The other mistake was she made her skin lighter. I don't think she should have did that. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you ask me, and I respect Kim with everything, but I can't tell her what to do because she made her mark. She made her choice. So I respect her for that. And I always will. But if you ask the streets what they think or how they feel about those two things, those is two strikes, two marks, whatever you want to call it, that kind of went against her. She had the abortion on Big with Big's child. So the two kids he got, Faith has his son. Miss Wallace had to ride with Faith, whether she wanted to or not. You aborted her grandchild. So she basically left herself on the outside. She did that to herself in a lot of ways. If you ask the streets, they'd be like, yeah, that's true. But like I said, I ride with Kim. I love Lil Kim. Lil Kim is the top female rapper of all time, in my opinion. She's the top. I mean, you got all these other female rappers out here now. They have to thank her because she paved the way. She revolutionized what the female rapper is in this game. But they want to portray her as just being sex. I mean, a lot of people would love to have sex with Lil Kim. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I might be one. That's my fantasy. I'm not going to get the skin. So, you know what I'm saying? But she's more than sex. She's a woman. She's a pioneer. She's a leader, not a follower like she say in her song. She's a leader. She's much more than what the movie Notorious portrayed her. When they showed her in that film, it had something to do with her taking her damn clothes off, rapping about sex, or having sex. Little Kim was more than that. But like a whole lot of other female rappers, she had to fight for what she had to fight for to get ahead in that game. You can't get mad at Lil Kim for that. You have to respect her for that. But by her having the abortion from Big made Big's mother left her no choice but to ride with the women that had the kid from him. Had she rolled with Kim and said, listen, I'm going to ride with Kim, she would have lost her own grandkids the same way she lost her son. She would have lost her grandkids the same way she lost her son. Lil Kim could move on and find other guys. She eventually got a kid by somebody else. This kid from Bad Style. I heard of the kid. I had seen the kid before. You know what I'm saying? He's locked up now. Whatever. Shout out to him. But Kim had options outside of Big. They all had options outside of Big because he passed away, but they were still locked in because two women had his child. Two females combined to give him two kids. So they locked in because they got the kids. They locked in because what he left on this earth after he lost his life, the kids he left behind on this earth after he passed, they is them kids' mothers. So they have to be respected because of that. And that's the choice Miss Wallace had to make. So little Kim can't get too mad at Miss Wallace. You have to respect Miss Wallace because she did what she had to do to keep her family together. She lost her son. She wakes up every day for the rest of her life knowing she lost her son in a senseless act of gun violence in a place that we all know he had no business going. Even if people don't listen to rap like that, they still know about Biggie. Even if they don't listen to rap like that, they still know he had no business being in California. Like I said, my son lived out there at the time, 30 miles from where he lost his life at. And I didn't even know Big was even out there. Them Cali boys, once they found out where I was from, they wanted to hang out with me. They didn't give a damn who they got. I felt in my heart the only reason why they wanted to hang out with me because they wanted to take me somewhere and they wanted to make an example out of me. They told me, them Cali boys told me, and I wasn't even with Big. I didn't even know he was out there. They said we don't have no beef with nobody, no East Coast, only Big. But I'm from Brooklyn. I live less than a half an hour away from where he lived at. A hop, skip, and a jump. So I'm the closest thing to the person they was looking for. So they wouldn't have had no problems making an example out of me. We didn't get Big, but at least we got somebody from Brooklyn. When that man called my phone 25 times straight, no man wants another man that much unless he owe him money or unless he want his head. He want to take his head off. That's the only way. They want to take your head off or you owe them money. This guy called me 25 times back to back to back to back to back. My son family told me straight up, don't answer that phone. Don't answer that phone. This when the cell phones really started hitting the hood. And I had my own personal cell phone. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking it. This guy called me 25 times. Straight. I wouldn't answer. So what you think he wanted to do? They wanted anybody from New York. You catch anybody from New York, from Brooklyn. You could come from Queens, New York. You might be safe. Come from the Bronx, wherever. But when you come from Brooklyn and when you live less than a half hour away from him, you're the closest thing to what they looking for. It's not what they want, but hey, they'll take it. You want to pick me up 10 o'clock at night. We're gonna hang out all night, get drunk, go to the club. We're gonna have the girls, this, that, and the third. Bring me home 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Bring me home before the sun come up. I don't think. I think I would have had a hard time coming home that night. I think, in my heart, I would have been in a fight for my life that night, and I felt it. When the guy wanted to bring me to my son's house, I had him drop me off blocks away from my son's house, and he knew like, yo, where's house? I said, no, it's over there. I went behind the dark. I ducked through the backyards, like how boys in the hood was, like those straight back ways, and cut this way and cut that way, cut through the other back way. And I seen the guy car pull up. He was looking for me. I'm like, oh shoot, I felt it. So, yo, Jay, what's up? What's up, ma? What's going on, girl? So I felt it. I felt it. Mod Squad. Yes, ma'am. Mod Squad all day, every day, and it's gonna stay that way. Mod Squad, baby, you already know. So I felt my life was in danger. Yo, Jay, what's going on, girl? What's going on? Hey, yo, man, I was in the hospital today. I got into this little car accident, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm all right now. You know what I'm saying? I was in a little accident, and my body is sore, but I'll be all right. But it's always good talking to you, Jay. And Jay, you already know how everything is from where you come from. The hood is the hood, and it ain't no joke. You already know what it's like. That's my girl Jay right there. Word up. How you been? Jay, you good? So me coming from New York and me being in Cali, I'm in a whole different hood. It's not where you from, it's where you at. I'm in California. I'm surrounded by wolves. And I'm out there with these guys the week Big lost his life. I came home 2 days before he lost his life. I came home 2 days before this man lost his life. Lil Kim, like I said, she had everything going for her. Lil Kim is a true leader, but where she went wrong with Big's mother is she had the abortion. She aborted Big's kid. So his mother had to side with the woman that was married to him, and not only that, with the woman that had his kids. Had she sided with Kim, she would have lost her grandkids. That would have hurt her even more. You got to give Miss Wallace a whole lot of credit. She kept her family together despite the fact her son lost his life. You have to give Miss Wallace a lot of credit. And I do. It wasn't personal until it was made personal. Like I said, Lil Kim gave Biggie's kids 10% of her publishing rights. So they get paid good money on the fact that Kim left that money to them. And she felt like people didn't appreciate it. Yes, they did appreciate it, but they couldn't choose because of the money. That's this woman's bloodline. Had she told Faith, listen, I'm gonna side with Kim because Kim been with him. I felt Biggie shouldn't have never married you. Even if his mother felt Biggie shouldn't have married that Faith 8 days, he married her 8 days after he met her. Even if the mother felt that he shouldn't have married her, the fact remains he still married her. Jay, you are good, and plus you look good too. You look very nice in this picture here. You look lovely. You look lovely, Jay. You gotta call me and let me know when you going live, because I'll be missing it. Let me put my number up here so that you have it. And in case I fall asleep, you know me. I'm gonna put my number up here right now. You know what I'm saying? And you have to respect Miss where Big's mother came from. She had to choose the fan family. She ain't had no choice. That's my number, Jay. Oh, you was. I had to go to the store right quick before it closed. I was in the house all day today, and I couldn't go to the store. I thought I saw you on. I didn't know if that was live or not. I was trying to hurry up and go to the store before the store closed, so I had to push my time. I had to run to the store. I had to get my cakes and stuff. I gotta have my late night stuff. I mean, I slept all day, and they gave me this shot, and this shot that that sucker made me sleep all day long. I slept for 8 hours. Like I ain't wake up till like 9:30, almost 10. I was knocked out all day. Copy down on my number. So now you can text me now, and you let me know when you going live because I always enjoy your lives. We helping each other, Jay. We gotta help each other in this game. We gotta stay strong. We can't depend on the people that's already there. They there like we depend on people to help bring us in. We depend on people to help bring us up. But we gotta bring each other up. I seen Sir Kina had a good live today. She's starting to get more and more people in her chat. Some days you have good days, some days you have bad days, but it's always a good day because God gave you the strength, He gave you life to go on here. But we could build each other up. That's what we have to do. We got to stay connected with each other. I don't care if we text throughout the day. One person that I stay in touch with is Philly Phil, and I still miss her lives because Philly Phil be doing so much. Shout out to Philly Phil. Like I catches her, but sometimes I don't. Like I be wanting her to text me, let me know, Nard, I'm about to go on soon. I will be there because if I'm not doing that, then I'm studying content when I'm home. I'm studying content. I'm trying to watch to see what I'm gonna be talking about, and then when I'm talking about, I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. So all that stuff is important, very important. But let's get back to Kim right quick. Jay, I definitely love you, Jay. You girl, you better call me, girl. Stay in touch with me. We have to stay in touch with each other. We could build each other faster than we can depend on somebody building us because they got their own building to do. Where they at, they trying to get higher than that. But one thing, my subscribers in the past 3 days, I got like 25 new subscribers. Like I like that. In the past month, I got like 80 something subscribers. I like that. But I want to send them over to Jay as well. We got to build our own platform, and it starts with us. It starts with us. So Kim had sour grapes over the way they made the film. Faith, Big Fan Family, they was the ones that told the story about the film, and like I said, they had Kim depicted in that film as far as being a sex symbol. I mean, she was very sexy, and I'm sure her and Big did a lot of sexing that they did do. Big screwed up more than he probably screwed any other woman. He probably screwed Lil Kim more than he screwed his wife. Lil Kim, oh, me and Big, I love Big so much. Yes, she did. She's not being phony. But it was a perfect example when somebody passed away, the person that puts in all the footwork leading up to the funeral and then after the person died, there's always one person that does all the work but don't get no credit. They eventually take a back seat to the people whose name is on the paper that don't feel like running around, so they let this certain person run around. And in that situation, that person was Kim. That's the way it went. That's the way it went. It wasn't, and nobody could do. She put the footwork. She put the footwork in. She made sure his kids got paid. She gave them 10% public publishing rights from her publishing rights. So that means his two kids get paid off the strength of Kim. And she felt insulted when she felt like they turned their back on her. Miss Wallace didn't turn her back on her. She had to side with the family. If she would have sided with Kim, she would have lost her grandkids. She would have definitely lost her son, her grandson. Excuse me. Because Faith would have felt bad. Like, F that. People were saying, "Oh, dang, his child, dang his child." But then when the child was born, the child looked just like him. That little boy was 5 months old when his father lost his life. Miss Wallace had to side with that fact. Little Kim had the abortion on Biggie. And she stated she didn't want to have a kid from Biggie because she didn't want that child to come into the world and see them fighting and this and that, this and that. That was a mistake. She grew up with her parents fighting. A lot of us grew up with our parents not getting along or disagreeing or whatever. Little Kim having his child would have been her symbol of strength for life. That would have been her Purple Heart, her badge of honor for life. She's carrying this man kid, even though he got the wife. She got a kid too. Even though Faith was his wife, I think she would have learned to live with that. Because one day her child would have played with Faith's child, because they both Biggie's child. Little Kim took herself out of that loop, man, when she aborted that child. And that's something that, and I love Lil' Kim. I love Lil' Kim so much, man. She epitomizes what the female rapper is. She represents what the female rapper is. But she gave up her rights when she aborted that child. She has to realize, and she has a pretty little child now. She has a pretty little girl now. Little Kim, in my eyes, should have had Biggie Small's baby. Because even though they linked together now, there'd have been even more bonded where nobody can't say nothing. Nobody wouldn't have been able to say nothing if Little Kim had not aborted that child and had that child. She didn't know Big was going to die. Had she known Big was going to die, yeah, she would have kept that child. But nobody knows the future until you live in the present of that future. You have to survive to the future to know what the future is. Nobody knew that YouTube and all this was going to take over the world 30 years from now, from 30 years ago. Nobody knew 30 years ago what was going to happen now. But since we live in now, we know what it's like. We have to make it to them points. Little Kim, I love Little Kim very much, but I'm going to say it again. When she aborted Biggie's child, now you love Biggie so much, and you still say it to this day. He was your right arm. He was your right arm. Y'all was this and that. Y'all was hooked at the hip and everything. And I agree with you. I agree with Kim when she say all them things. But she aborted his child. So Ms. Wallace got to look the other way now. Instead of her saying, listen, Kim is a part of this no matter what, because that's still my grandchild. Ms. Wallace wouldn't have been having that shit. Excuse me, that ish. Ms. Wallace wouldn't have been having that. Because she lost her son. So all her grandkids, she would have bonded them. Miss Wallace is a smart woman. Miss Wallace know my family. She came to the cookouts a couple of times at the pier. And I'm saying this on this live right now at the Canarsie Pier. I ain't even gotta say what family she came to the pier with. She knows. My family from my grandfather's side, who has the same last name as me, grew up around Biggie, babysat him and everything. They know him way more than I do. They grew up around him. They was on this TV show. One of them was on the TV show, made a statement. That's my cousin. I don't know them that way, but I'm supposed to have known that's my grandfather's side. But due to the conflict between my grandmother and them, we never grew up around them. But that's my blood. But a lot of us, my aunts know them very well because they grew up with them when they was kids and teenagers and young adults. They grew up around them. So Miss Wallace came to my family barbecue at the pier twice, two strong times. I was at one of them. Miss Wallace know what family is all about. I have a very big family. My grandparents had 22 kids back to back to back to back. Miss Wallace know who my family is. 22 kids, 80 something grandkids, 100 something great grandkids, and damn near 100 and something great grandkids. I come from a big family. From the Cypress Hills houses. Miss Wallace know who I'm talking about. Shout out to Miss Wallace, man. Sometimes it's just casualties of war. And Kim felt like she was a casualty of war, but by her having the abortion, she shot herself in the foot. Because had she had Biggie's child, that child would have came over for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, hell, even for Halloween. We is gonna have a pumpkin patch hunt, and it's in that Easter. That would have been the other two grandkids, brother or sister. Like I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I respect Little Kim so much. She held that group down after Big lost his life. She got that big contract one time for what, 25 million, or she was worth 20, 25. They had it on TV. She was getting paid. She had their house. She took his whole crew from Bed-Stuy, aka on Clinton Hills. There was more Clinton Hills, like they was right on the outskirts of Bed-Stuy. Once you pass Franklin and what's that, Fulton, you basically Clinton Hills, but it's still connected, so they still call it Bed-Stuy. Like Brownsville and East New York. You pass the L train, you in East New York. Brownsville and East New York is separated by one block. Once you cross the street at the end of Brownsville, you at the beginning of East New York. You cross back across that street, you no longer East New York. You in Brownsville now. So Brownsville, East New York, Clinton Hills, and Bed-Stuy. So close. They separate each other by one street crossing. You know what I'm saying? She held her family down, gave Miss Wallace a lot of credit. Faith would have had to deal with that, not Kim. Because Lil Kim is family. Like I said, she took the crew out the hood and moved them to New Jersey, but they was acting up out there, getting involved in gun beefs. Not out there, but they was hiding. Like when they get involved in allegedly shootouts that came back to them. Allegedly, they hit at Kim house. Kim held them down, was bailing them out. Kim was carrying the name on. She almost went broke holding them down when they ain't have dough. She was putting money in their pockets, helping them get on and stay on. She almost lost everything holding that crew down. Even did a jail bid for them because she wouldn't snitch, and that made her the queen. She could have snitched. She looked the other way, she said. She said she didn't see it. But the camera sees she's standing right next to the damn shooter. And see, and that's bad. Because if you got the shooter on camera shooting, you don't have to ask her who shot. You got the guy already. So why ask her who's shooting when you got on camera who bust off the shots? But she still held it down. She took that year. Came home a megastar. Had her own TV show leading up to the jail when they drove her to the pen and everything. Put your lighters up for Lil' Kim, man, because she's a real one. And she's family to Miss Wallace, no matter what. But she would have cemented that fact for all the work she did. And yes, she did the work. She made sure big kids had money. Public publishing 10% is a lot of damn money. Or for 10%, them kids damn near ain't got to work. And what you do, you don't give it to them when they 1, 2, 3 years old. You let that money build up till they 21. You know, niggas got millions in their accounts. Or for Lil' Kim leaving that 10%. She held down the crew, held them down, but she shot herself in the foot when she aborted that child. Once she aborted that child, nobody can't say nothing. That baby is a Wallace. If she wouldn't have aborted that child, that baby coulda, woulda, and should have been a Wallace. Because you love Big so much, there is no other way to put it. But she grew up hard. She grew up with people making her feel like being dark skinned is a crime. And she made herself light skinned. Like I said, I ride with Kim no matter what. If that's the choice she made, that's the choice she made. I ride with it. Lil' Kim can't do no wrong to me. Even though if I feel deep in my heart, she should have stayed dark skinned and realized that Black Queen is what it is. But you growing up with people telling you the light-skinned person is better. And I hate that observation because light-skinned and dark-skinned, they both queens. They both should be able to stand next to each other. You pretty in your own right, and you pretty in your own right. And I understand that's the competition. But even if there is a competition, you can't take away the fact you pretty in your own right, and you pretty in your own right. Salute, and God bless the dark skin and the light skinned woman. Did I put the dark skinned woman first? God bless the light skin and the dark skinned woman. Dark skin and the light skinned woman. Doesn't matter who I put first, who I put last. Big up and shout out and God bless to them, to both. And that's that. But when she got put on, she felt she was away from that. But then Big married Faith after 8 days. She's light skinned. Charlie Baltimore looks light skinned, but she's really white. But she got the hood in her. And I believe it's another light skinned chick too that he was fooling around with. But after she got put on, the chicks Biggie dissed her for was light skinned women. So I think that has something to do with her having a facelift and making her light skinned as well. Shout out to Lil' Kim, and I love her no matter what. And I hope she don't get mad at me deep down in my heart. If that's what she did, that's what she did. I support it. But deep down in my heart, there's a small place that says, I wish she didn't do it. Me, myself, I'm a dark skinned woman. You turn out the lights, you got to find them in the dark. But there's nothing wrong with light skinned women either. But when it comes down to the dark skinned woman, you turn out the lights, you got to find them in the dark. I love my dark skinned woman. Oh, yes. That's just me. I love me some goddamn blackums. I love me some darkums. Blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. But Kim making herself light skinned didn't hit her pockets. To me, Kim is the greatest female rapper of all time, the greatest female MC of all time. And you have a lot of female MCs that's out there, out here now, making their way. But they all gotta look back and say Lil Kim was the pioneer. And before Lil Kim is MC Light, who I went to school with. On her song, Kim starts off light as a rock. So she's paying homage to the female rapper she looked up to. She paying homage to MC Light. Light as a rock. On that Brooklyn song where she do that dance, you know, light as a rock. Mm-hmm. She paying homage to the light-skinned rapper. It wasn't no race issue. She paying homage to MC Light was what it was, salt and pepper. But Lil Kim was different. Lil Kim was different. And the closest I was to her was MC Light. Salt and pepper was different. They shake your thing and all that. Okay, fine. Lil Kim put the female rappers from the hood on the map. Came hard. This a female Biggie here. What the hell? Who that? She should have had Biggie's child, man. She should have had Biggie's child. And I wish she had Biggie's child. Because then Miss Wallace wouldn't have been able to choose. Okay, you his wife on paper. Okay, so you get all what's coming to him because you carrying his name. But these babies, these are my grandkids. No matter if he had a kid with Kim or whoever, if he had a child with Kim, that's my grandchild too. Whatever on different differences Kim and Faith had could have been ironed out easy over time, which it is. And there's probably still a little tension in there. Because Faith gonna always, like when Faith spoke about it at the BET Awards, she gave good words, but they always add that little slant about her sex appeal. Kim was a sexy woman. Can't take that from her. But hey, like, cause see, woman is funny. When I first had my first son, and I broke up with homegirl, you know, we was young, we was teenagers. I broke up with her, you know what I'm saying? And when I met my wife, and she had my son, it was competition between them two. Like you see, cause my first son's mother didn't want her to have my child. So when she had my child, he's about a month old. He looked just like me and everything like that. She's holding the child up. Like she want my first son's mother to see the child. So she holding him up and cause she over there looking. She over there looking like, damn, this nigga look just like him. And she holding him up, letting her see. Yeah, I have the child from him too. That's how a woman is. I love that little friendly fire competition. Long as it's friendly fire. And they don't start fighting over the kids and fall on the kids and all that. Thank God that never happened. But that's how a woman is, man. You know, salute to the woman. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. Get out your seat and jump around. Jump around. Woman is funny that way. But I salute it. Had Lil Kim had Big Son, she could have held, I think, mess around. That baby, especially if it was a son, Kim's son would have looked like Big more than the other kids. And the other kids look just like him, whether they light skin and dark skin, whatever. Kim's son would have been, it's always that special son. They call it love child. That would have been Big's love child. You know? People make mistakes. They have a love child. You know what I'm saying? It could be a situation where you and your wife or your girlfriend could have broken up for about a couple of weeks, and y'all went your own way, and you had sex with on this other chick, and she come back later on saying she pregnant from you. Like, they ain't mine, they ain't mine. Come to find out, it is yours. That's your love child. That's when y'all was doing nothing else but screwing. Y'all didn't have a time to build a relationship any other way because y'all always topped it off with screwing. When y'all break up to make up, y'all still screwing. But those situations, the female give the punani away to somebody else. And even if she's your wife, she's not your wife, you hate her guts because she gave that punani away. But if y'all hook up for one night, what y'all do? Y'all screw again. It's for screwing. And the child comes, and that's your love child. That's the way it is. Kim would have gave Biggie his love child. And that baby probably would have been more big than all the other kids because they all just like him, look just like him. But little Kim baby by Big would have been a little bit more special. That would have been his love child. Remember that. So Miss Wallace had to make a choice because Kim made her choice. Miss Wallace had to make a choice because Kim made her choice. And I'm not saying this to disrespect Lil Kim. I come from Brooklyn, and I'm just saying how family values is, whether we like it or not. I'm just calling us a spade a spade. I'm calling it the way I see it. When Lil Kim aborted that child, she took herself out the loop of the family values. Her baby would have been a Wallace. She denied Big that. So now if anybody gave Faith the total upper hand, even if they was married, if anybody gave Faith the total upper hand, it was Kim. God bless her. I love her, but she has to realize that. She has to realize that. You took yourself out the loop when you aborted that child. So now Miss Wallace got to move on with the woman that had Big's child, and she got to move forward with her grandkids when it come down to business choices. Instead, on Christmas time, all right, Kim, we're going to get your child this. We're going to get your child that. Faith, we're going to get your child this. We're going to get your child that. Jan, we're going to get your child this. We're going to get your child that. It was brought down to two because Kim aborted her child. So Jan and Faith, who got the kids from Big, they get to sit down with her on Christmas time and Thanksgiving. They coming over to grandma house to eat. Lil Kim could come to the house and eat, but she's coming as Kim. She's not coming She's not coming as Big's baby mother. She's not bringing her child over because that's not Big's child. So Kim got to look past that, and she got to love Big's family for being Big's family. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Because no matter what, whether she got a child from Big or not, she's still little Kim. She's still little Kim. She was a part of Big coming up in the industry as anybody. Puffy and Kim, not Charlie Baltimore. She came later. And then she threw shots at Kim. Now that right there, Charlie Baltimore can't say nothing about Kim. Charlie Baltimore do not walk the same line as Kim. Because she went over to other groups. She went to Irv and all of them and this and that, this and that. So she basically did nothing no different than what Kim did. She took that ass and that punani someplace else. Faith, they all took their poo on 990 someplace else. But the ones that had the baby from Big stayed behind with Miss Wallace because they had something in common with her. They was the mother of her grandchildren. They had a Wallace. They had Big's babies. So no matter they went and lived their life, got married to Stevie J, whatever, they had the baby by Big. Because if Faith didn't have a child from him, even though that was his wife, they would have been at odds. Miss Wallace would have had to play Faith game more than ever, just for the simple fact Faith's name was on that piece of paper. She could have said, F Miss Wallace. The wife supersedes anything, anybody, mother included. But Faith, that's why, you know what, I don't know what happened between Faith and Tupac. The streets, I'm from the streets, we all say Faith probably banged Tupac. But you know what? She got his son. So having his son supersedes whether she banged Tupac or not. But had she not had his son, we could throw that Tupac stuff at her. Whether we telling the truth or not. Yeah, that's right. You banged him. You banged him. We got to lower our tone on it. We think you banged him, or yeah, you did bang. We got to lower our tone on that. Because she has the son. Jan got the daughter. Jan stayed behind the scenes and let her daughter do the work. Because that's his daughter. That's his first child. Jan is very much in it. But she's behind the scenes because that little girl gonna take care of her mother. That little girl is gonna take care of her mother. And God bless Biggie's kids. And God bless Tiana Wallace for that. And God bless season them too. It's not that season them is on the outside. They playing their position because their name is already cemented alongside Big. They playing their position. This is the woman that gotta decide this. Woman runs my family. Men just do it. They say we just beat somebody up for them and stuff like that. Women runs the family. They make the choices. They call the shots. That's the way. Shit, my aunts and all, my daughter, all of them. They strong women. They call the shots. We cater to what they say. That's the way it is. Can't do nothing about it. That's the way it is. So season them and shout out to C's and D Rock, the whole crew. They playing their position, so they already there. Miss Wallace ain't playing that. She already was beefing with C's because he said something, this and that. And she said, cool it, quiet, stay in your place. And C's had to listen to what she say, because that's the notorious M.O.M. He had to respect Miss Wallace. She's the general. When you beefing with her, you starting at the top. Miss Wallace is at the top. Then you got Jan, Faith. Well, you got Faith and Jan, or Jan and Faith, whatever. They the two mothers. Then you got the grandkids. There's a name missing in that, and that name is Lil' Kim. That baby cements her name being on that list. And Lil' Kim would have made Faith Life a Living Hell. Not so much as Jan, because she had to respect Jan, but Faith, she'd have made Faith Life a Living Hell until they settled it out. And I like the way they squashed their beef. I like the way they did that. They did it like women. Not too many women get to do that. Just give me 1 second, guys. Make sure I wash my hands. Gotta pay that water bill sometime. That's too much information, but you know, I seen somebody use the damn bathroom on the damn live and didn't wash their hands. But they cook. They peed in the pickle jar and gave somebody the piss, but they cook. Come on now, we got to grow up here. But that's a different story. I use the bathroom, I wash my hands. Shout out to the soap and shout out to me for washing my hands. Soap and water means everything when you come across it and have to use it. Okay, back to the show. Live at the spot. The Nard father is here. Lil' Kim should be standing alongside dumb women. But she gave that right up. She aborted the child. And I'm not saying I'm not being disrespectful to Kim. If she was to listen to this, I'm not being disrespectful. We adults. I'm just giving my version on where it went left for her at. And why she got a beef with Miss Wallace, she shouldn't. She got to respect that woman. Okay, you screwed her son, and they didn't include you in the movie. You want to know why they didn't include Kim in that film? They created their own storyline on Lil' Kim, because had they included Lil' Kim in that story, Lil' Kim would have made that whole movie. Lil' Kim would have made that whole damn movie. Just like there was 1-2 in that crew, there'd have been 1-2 in that movie, and they still was 1-2 in that movie. But Faith respectfully had her storyline supersede Lil' Kim's. But the parts Lil' Kim was in there, all eyes was on her. Okay, we seen Faith. She did things smart and still do things smart to this day. Gotta give Faith a lot of credit. The Tupac situation, all right, she can play dumb all she want. From the streets point of view, we feel how we feel. But she got that son. So what she say is law. It would have been law anyway, but by her having that son, not only being married to him, because had she not had a child from him, would Miss Wallace been willing to deal with her? That would have been the biggest beef Miss Wallace had. Miss Wallace was smart, and Faith was loyal because she could have said, you know what? My name supersedes hers. So whatever big estate is or however it goes, I'm number one. She could have asked the mother out. She didn't. They combined, they formed a team. Faith didn't have to. She's the wife. They made sure them kids had, they made sure moms had, and Faith made sure she had. Little Kim put the 10% in on both kids, so street in street terms, she put her 2 cents in, which is good, but she put her 2 cents in. Miss Wallace and Faith, 2 cents was already in. The wife and the mother. Even if Lil Kim wasn't married, too biggie, that baby would have superseded everything. So she kind of put herself on the outside. I'm gonna end this live now. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. You know what I want y'all to do? I want y'all to hit that like button, and not only that, I want y'all to join my $1.99 membership. That's one thing I would definitely like for y'all to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like it. Platforms just don't be built overnight, and that's the way it go. That's the way it go. But I'm a patient man because the subscribers I've been getting these past couple of weeks, I'm telling you, in the past week I must have got about 30, damn near 40 subscribers. I'm like, damn. So my hard work is paying off slowly but surely. It's paying off. There's a God. God is good. God is so good. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. You know what I'm saying? So the in closing, Lil Kim wasn't sacrificed by Faith and Big's moms. To me, and I'm saying this respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Lil Kim kind of sacrificed herself. Lil Kim sacrificed herself when she aborted that child, man. Because that gave her all the power she wanted. They wouldn't have been able to make that movie without her. Even though they still cut her a check. She got a fat check out of it. But they didn't use her input. They went by with Faith and and what the crew seen. They went by what was seen and heard instead of coming from Lil Kim's mouth. Because that movie would have been a blockbuster had Lil Kim. It was still a blockbuster. But whatever they made for that movie, and they made some damn good money, they would have blew double had Lil Kim sat down with them people. And that I will say, they would have blew double. Whatever they made making that movie, they'd have made double with Lil Kim having an input. But when she sacrificed herself, that gave people an opportunity to go around her and make her story without her. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Check that replay out. You know what I'm saying? My story's just becoming like a movie. I'm narrating. I'm narrating. My narration, I'm confident. And I'm going to rest my back and study some more content. The Nard Father is out. I love you all. And no, I didn't say hit that Cash App because just like somebody used my word at the end, they say peace. It's a business. This is a business. Help me build my business. Help me build my enterprise. I'll earn it one day. I'm patient. I'm patient. Oh yeah, I'm very patient. Help me build my business because it's a business. It's what you're making it. I'm making this my business enterprise. Let me go study some more content and hope to get some more subscribers. I got a feeling if I keep working the way I'm working, like the way I first started, I had 500 subscribers in 3 months. I feel like I can have at least 5,000 by the summertime. God might bless me. I might have 10,000. I'm looking to build. If I remain likable, the people will like me. And just stay away from the BS and the evils and lies that make one dumb. I'm out, y'all. Peace.